JamEasy.
Yo, we're about to go live from JamEasyDoesIt. Special guest today, Scotty IV. Hell yeah. Guys, welcome back to JamEasyDoesIt. It's a very special episode. Today, joining me is one of my favorite rappers, favorite local hustlers. Guys, welcome to the show, Scotty IV. A man of many names and many talents. Stay out late.
We try. Thanks for having me at the show, man. It's comfy. This chair is a lot more comfortable than it looks on the videos when I was watching your Instagram.
Well, the first two episodes I had people sitting in folding chairs. So we've only had one episode with this one, and the last guy that I had on, he was like, he had his feet on the couch and everything. He was a real cuddle up on there. You really sink into that one, eh?
I saw that because I'm like before I do anything like that's a show or like an interview, I like do a little bit of due diligence, obviously. So like,
how am I gonna sit in this chair?
I was like, like what am I gonna do that's gonna be awkward? And then I seen him doing that, so I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like I don't need to see anymore. I'm good.
So the one thing you got is I'm not gonna sit like that.
Yeah, I was like, I'm just gonna not do that, but like be good because he did it already. You know, I don't want to. I don't want to steal his thunder. You know
okay, let's see how you change the game. You know?
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, we'll figure it out over time.
You're my first non-comedian guest on, and I want to mix it up on this show. And also, like, man, we're old friends. And before I was a comedian, I was DJing, and I was DJing for Scotty and Stay Out Late, the whole crew. And a lot of people, when I started comedy, they're like, "Why is your name JamEasy?" And really, it's because I came from the rap world where like everyone has a nickname and no one's like, "Why is your name this?" If anything, if I introduced myself as James, it'd be like, "Okay, this guy's kind of weird."
Yeah, like you're a weirdo.
And then so that was most of my 20s. I didn't even have my regular name. Wasn't used to hearing the name James. Then fucking I come to comedy and everyone's shaming me for being JamEasy. So it's been a fucking wild ride for me.
Well, you're like a purple cow in that sense. So I feel like it works for you because like you're the one comedian that has a rap name, which is like it automatically makes you stand out. I feel like.
You know, it can make me stand out, but also like I feel like whenever I go to a new comedy scene, people are like, "This guy's a fucking loser, yo."
Because everyone else has. I didn't even really take that in comedy. You just use your name.
Yeah, stage names are frowned upon.
Right.
But I didn't make a name. They're like, "Why would you make a name for comedy?" I'm like, I didn't. I had a name. I came into comedy. I already had shirts with JamEasy on them.
Right. The branding was already
there.
Underway.
Yeah. So that's what tripped me up because and I was like, oh, I'm obviously gonna sell shirts. I'm gonna sell merch. I put no effort into selling merch. and then I talked about it in the last episode, but my symbol for JamEasy was this. And in 2017 that was okay, but 2018 it became white power. So
is that what that is?
That's what they say. This is white power.
Right.
Better stop doing it. Right. I'm fucking gonna get demonetized on here, even though there is no money coming in at the moment.
And it's 2023, so like you can't even tiptoe close to it. Like you got to just steer clear completely because like somebody's gonna see that and they're gonna be like, "Yo, this guy's a friggin' Nazi."
Yeah, I'm gonna have to blur that out. Actually,
sorry.
It's crazy because I remember. So when I had the one shirt that I used to sell that was actually doing good was this "Where's Molly" shirt. Remember Molly?
With the. She had the white face with like the red nose and all
that.
Yeah.
Luna and Molly, a clown and her dolly. So that was the dolly, and I would sell that at raves, and like I would sell it at raves with a couple of my buddies, Ryan, Apollo, and Jules. All of them not white, and in the back of the shirt had the JamEasy symbol. So there would be pictures of us selling these shirts at raves, holding this up. And now, like, it didn't mean anything. Like, I just took it as okay.
Yeah, like perfect, like
perfect.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
My goodness,
how times change.
Times change. You've had to change your name a couple times, but not because of any racial implications. But
actually,
really?
Yeah, because Spooks. I don't know if you remember. Spooks was the first. Like that was my first. That's who I am, really.
Right.
I didn't have to change it because of that, but that was always brought up after a while because spook used to be a racial slur for black people.
Right.
So like I wouldn't have had to regardless, but like that's a question I would always have to answer if that was still my name. Is like, is that the reason why it's Spooks? And it's not. Like there was a whole other meaning for that, but like I changed it for other reasons. But if I still had it, it definitely would have come up in conversation every single time.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, I guess I just been lucky.
Like, because you could say, "Oh, I'm taking it back," but that wasn't even the idea behind Spooks. Spooks was like, "Son, what was it?"
Yeah, so Samuel Opoku out of Kojo Soul, which is like
your dad,
in commemoration of my pops. Yeah,
yeah,
exactly. Yeah. So like that's what it meant. So, but people online nowadays would just be like, "Oh, this guy." He's calling himself a spook, like, you know what I mean? Without
One of your lines that I still say, like,
I think I know what it is.
What is it?
I ain't trying to be misogynistic.
Yeah.
I just want to let my dick massage your lipstick. Ooh,
that was a banger, yo. And
I know.
And relatable. It's like, yeah, I'm not trying to be misogynistic. I just want to head.
It's the truth. I don't want to degrade you. I don't want to look at you as any less for any reason. I just want this image I have in my head to happen.
Fuck yeah. And I like some girls like when you like dirty talk them when you're fucking them or getting your dick sucked, right? But I find like if a girl has my dick in her mouth, I really am like, you're an angel. Like you're making art right now.
Right.
I've told a girl like you're a beautiful artist, yo. You know, I'm not one to say you dirty little slut. Even if they want to be called that, I'm like, I appreciate the arts.
I'm the same. I don't have it in me. It's hard to dirty talk sometimes because like a girl will want to be degraded, like and I have to put mental energy, like really channel like my right brain and be like, all right, cool, let me come up with something. But that takes me out of the moment a little bit. Like obviously, like through learning and trial and error, I've made it work. Like I figured out how to make it work now, you know, through experience. But like I really just want to say something nice. Like I really I appreciate bless you. God bless you.
Has a girl ever said anything wild to you while you're fucking her?
Not that I can think of. I don't know why. I can't think of anything.
I had a girl ask me while I was inside of her, "Do you think you can do better than me?" And I thought about it. And I'm like,
"Did you?"
Yeah. I said yeah. Like, but not that I thought I was too good for it. Just like, who am I to not believe in myself? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You gotta
That's the only answer. That should be the only answer.
Yeah. Like, what do you want me? I'm not here to be degraded. I'm not going to degrade myself.
Right. Because if you had said no, then I would be like game over. In my eyes, it would have been like, oh, okay, well, that was awkward.
I don't even know what she wanted.
Yeah, like what did you? What was the reaction like though when you were like?
She wasn't happy about it really. but I don't know if she wanted me to be, because that's the thing. I just said yeah. You know what I mean? I didn't like go into like calling her like a worthless piece of shit. Maybe that's what she wanted to. Or maybe she wanted me to say no and be like, you're great. You know what I mean? This is all I ever wanted.
Yeah. I find women sometimes will bring a lot of mental challenges they're having at that moment in time into the sex that they're having. So that could have just been the one thing she couldn't get over at that moment in her mind. Like, she's like, the one thing I need to hear to get over this is like somebody can't do better than me. Ooh. And at that moment, she was just like, if I hear this right now, I'll be good. And
women are mentally challenged.
He said it.
No, I think I was. You said it actually. I was just hearing it. Yeah. But with women, or special women that are. Maybe that are too good for us or whatever. We've had a similar journey, artistic journey, I'll say. When I was just starting comedy, I got engaged. And when it came to time to plan a wedding, I was like, I felt the analogy I use is she wanted to plant roots and I wanted to chase clouds. And I just started comedy. I was just realizing, I'm like, this could actually be a thing.
That's solid. Yeah.
So I'm like, and it was nothing against her, lovely girl, but I needed to go chase clouds. So like, I had to call that quits. Now you recently had to go through something like that, something not similar. Like you actually did get married.
We went the whole way for a long time, 8 years actually. Mm-hmm. And this relationship started as a friendship, which is how a lot of relationships start. And it was really good as a friendship. And like, you know, things go fast. So before we knew it, we were both, you know, married and living together, own property. All of that.
Yeah.
But like you have that stage where it's like infatuation and all that stuff and love, and like you kind of forget about certain things. Like when you join with another person, you give like a part of yourself to that person, right? But you only have so much. Like you only have 100%. Like as a human being, you only have 100%. So if you give away 50%, you can't make another 50% to add to whatever you were doing before you joined the relationship, if this is making sense.
Yeah, like you can give 110%, but you can't give 150%. That's why no one ever said that, right?
Yeah, because that's just out of how's that even possible, right? So like if you were giving 100%, and this is where we're going with the conversation. So like I was all in with music and doing music. It's really challenging to continue giving the same amount of effort when you're every move is essentially tied to another person, like you, and it's not like it's a chore. It's just something you have to consider if you truly care about this person, right?
When you pull a rope tight, and then there's no slack left, right? So if you're pulling the hip hop, chasing that dream as tight as it can, then there's no slack there, which means there might be slack somewhere else,
right?
Which is in the love life. Like
something gotta give.
And I found the same thing. Like for comedy, I have to hit open mics a lot. So it's like when I was with her, I was like, if I went to a mic, a shitty open mic, sometimes I'd be like, oh, I should have just stayed home with her. You know what I mean? And then sometimes when I stayed home, I'm like, I'm not working hard enough. I should be out there chasing these dreams. You know what I mean? I don't know what the equivalent is in hip hop, but like in comedy, like you have to hit shitty open mics that are not fun, are not fulfilling. There's not a crowd there to fucking make you feel good about yourself, but it's the work that you have to put in to get better. Like, so I guess that would be like you hitting the studio.
Same thing, like the studio or even open mics, like shows where nobody's there. Like you still got to do the show. You still got to perform to get your performance chops up so that when you do have a crowd, there's something to see. So like you have to get those hours in performing. You also have to meet some. It could be a one person crowd, but that one person could be the person who changes your career. So you can't say no to shit. So if you're that dedicated, and before this relationship, I thought I was dedicated, but I thought I needed to be more dedicated significantly because we're not in the business of losing. We're not in the business of not being the best. So there's always more you could give. For sure. So when you give half of what you do, half of who you are to another situation, there's no way it's even possible unless that person is also on the same pursuit you are. If that makes sense.
But even then, it's like.
But even then, it's still not the same.
It's kind of like it's a bit of a. Both of the things we're doing are a bit of a selfish journey, a lonely journey. I talked about on my podcast, if we're still talking, the other day is. Back in the day, pursuit of happiness wasn't a thing. Right. It was like you either become a hero. Or you are disappointed in yourself. You know what I mean? So like I think the journey that we're on is not about like being happy. It's about like getting this shit done, yo. Facts. Straight up. Yeah. Like because I could be happier if I was just settled down, wife and kids. But it's like I'm so in love with comedy that it's like if I slacked on that, if I knew that I could have gave that more, I'll be disappointed in myself. You know what I mean?
Then there's people that are like that. Like there's people who will be satisfied with. All right, cool. Like I could go to work and I could settle down and I could have kids and that will bring me enough joy in life to just be happy. But like the Michael Jordans of the world, the Kobe Bryants, RIPs, the Jay-Z's, they had something in them that said, nah, that's not enough for me. So I'm going to keep on going. I'm going to keep pursuing it, which I guess you and I both must have.
It's a hero's journey. I'm not saying I'm a hero, but it's a hero's journey. Who's your biggest influences?
Jay-Z, Eminem, obviously like 50 Cent, our generation,
everyone that was big.
JM, 50, DMX, like that
DMX,
that group of artists, and then obviously like my older brother, Starbucks, Nabob, the one who made me start rapping to begin with. But yeah.
He made you start rapping?
He didn't make me. Like he inspired me.
You fucking rap right now.
You better fucking rap right now.
I'm gonna make you a child star whether you like it or not. Yo.
It works out. Look at like.
Did he bring you to the studio when you were a kid?
Or he had a home. He had a home studio, so I fooled around with the home studio setup, and then secretly devised my own, like the same thing, and then tried. That's how I do shit. Like I'm very meticulous with shit. So like I didn't even really let anybody know I was doing it. I just wanted to try it out and see, and then I did it and then showed everyone. They're like, "Oh fuck."
What age was your youngest recording? Like when you first started recording?
14.
14? Do you still have
Probably
it?
14.
Or is it lost
somewhere?
In the ether?
Somewhere. This is before cloud services and all. It exists somewhere, probably on an actual CD.
I wish I had a recording of my first set for comedy, because I remember, like now I record everything, and like I had one recording from when I was like 3 months into comedy. That's probably my first one, but I lost it. I don't know. I headlined a show which I was not ready to, and at the time I did good. I got lots of laughs, I don't know if did you come? Was that the weed
I'm
lounge?
trying to remember. Was this the? I was gonna
birthday
say,
show,
was this the weed lounge? I probably was there.
You're probably there. A lot of my friends came, and it was a good response from the crowd and everything. But then I watched it like a year later, and I was like, man, I hate watching myself like this. Do you look back on any like your old tracks and you're like, man, I sucked, yo? No. You actually like your old stuff
from day one, like
yeah.
It was just one thing I could do is to spit a dope verse. Like my delivery might have been a little bit less confident, or like I didn't really swag it out where I could, but like the raw materials from the beginning were just Like it's something I just picked up. I realized I just knew how to do better than other people who like were who I was around or who I was exposed to. I just was good at it. I felt like
nice. Yeah. I have jokes that I still look back on and I like, but the way I told them, I'm just like. I used to say yo so much. I still do say yo.
Yeah.
Like yesterday, I was at an open mic and I'm like, somebody introduced myself. He's like, oh, what's your name? I'm like, my name's James, yo. And he's like, did you just say James, yo? Is that your last name, yo? And I'm like, oh, no. I'm like, I think that's just like a nervous tick or something. But I remember when I first started comedy, somebody called me out on it. They're like, you say yo so much. And I recorded my set. I listened back to it. In a 5-minute set, guess how many times I said yo?
In a 5-minute set, 25 times.
Pretty close, 27. Yeah, I was like, yo, but yo, like, yeah, man, just crazy.
I don't know if I have anything like that. I might. I notice when I'm talking some shit that I think I say but a lot of people say like, like, that's common shit. But like,
that's funny.
You've always been a funny guy, like in general. Like I think it's crazy that you found. We've never had this conversation, but I just think it's crazy that you found comedy as an art form for your expression, because it makes sense. Like it was one of those things that makes sense. I don't think I would have thought that before, but then like when you started doing it, I was like, yeah, duh. Like if there's anybody in our circle of friends that it would be, you were the guy, like 100%. Like
thank you.
Yeah, so I'm happy for you. I'm glad
I thought about it years before. So I started in 2017. 2012, I made a New Year's resolution, and I have like some jokes in a folder on my computer that like I wrote down in 2012, but then I just never did it. Didn't think about it for years. And then in 2017, I was going through some depression and like not liking life or whatever. Yeah. And got down on my knees, asked God for help, asked him for a new path. And like 2 days later, I was actually doing a show for Tremaine. I was DJing a show for him at the Rose Theater. Yeah. And Jibs was there, and he came up and he was telling me about this comedy club in Brampton. And I was like, okay, I'll go check it out. First time I tried it out, I did good. Like I said, looking back to probably the way I told jokes then, I wouldn't like, but I got a good response from the crowd, and I was like, this is the path. Right. This is the path. Right. So it all does tie together. Like that was the last show I ever DJ'd for any Stay Out Late thing. I dove in like straight up. Like once I found comedy, I'm like, this is it.
Thanks, Jibs.
Yeah, that was it. But okay, so with DJing, I'll say this. I started hating DJing, but not for you guys. Like I like doing the live shows, but I hated doing parties and I hated DJing weddings. I hated like requests, man.
Fucking
brutal.
Please.
Yeah. You don't have that? Yeah. What kind of fucking DJ are you? Yeah. And I'm like, bro, we're in a fucking basement right now. Like I'm not getting paid to be here, or something. Like weddings I would get paid for, but some of these parties I would just get paid in liquor or whatever, which is fine. But I'm like, I'm not gonna fucking cater to everyone's request in the party for that.
Right, you DJ the party then. Like here, there's a reason why I'm here.
But if there's anything that I would do again, it would be just fucking the live shows, because those were so much fun. When I would go a little ham on the sound effects sometimes. Yeah. I remember there was one that we did where I was getting paid in liquor. We had a bottle of Hennessy in like the green room or whatever. And I was, by the time we got on stage, because we were one of the last acts to go, I was fucking hammered.
I feel like I remember this one.
And one of the sound effects I used to hit was like the sex songs, like. And I remember I went way too ham with it on that one.
I remember that show. Yeah, I remember that show.
Yeah, I would definitely catch you guys like, you guys would be looking back and be like, all right, yo, one less maybe, yo. It'd be out of control.
Good times, man. No, we got to do one just for the sake of doing it. Like sometimes soon.
That'd be fun.
I think that'd be fun.
We should do like, so Jay hit me up and he was like saying how Cold Tea, where you guys run Jungle, like they want me to run a comedy show for them too, right?
Yeah.
And I'm only thinking about this right now. Now, like we should just do a Stay Out Late collabo that closes the show, and you guys do like a fucking 1-2 songs at the end. Like,
that's an idea.
We should do that.
Yeah, that's an idea. Like it's very doable. Yeah.
Stay tuned for that.
Yeah, let's do it.
Because like they already have like where we do the booth where we party. That could be the stage. I've already seen somebody runs a show there already, and like they're not trying to cancel that one. So if you're watching, they're not trying to cancel your comedy show. They just like that show is like more white and more like an older crowd. They want like a youthful urban crowd for the show as well. They just want to mix it up. So we should just do a stay LA comedy. You know?
Yeah, I think that would be sick actually.
Yeah, we'll talk to management about it. You guys are probably watching. Fucking call me. If you could pick one rapper to bring back to life to make more music, who would it be? Because I have my answer, and it isn't somebody that's that old school.
Is there? Yeah, there's no like. There's a lot.
There's so many people you could choose, but for me, I'll go first since I brought it up.
All right, sure.
I'll give you time. I'll give you a second to think. But one,
I think I got one. Yeah.
Just because I bumped this guy in my car to this day. It wasn't even that long ago that he passed away. But Pop Smoke, I just wish he got a chance to make more music. Yo, he dropped one album, and it was fire.
You're right.
And he didn't even get to see the fruits of his labor, which sucks.
It's terrible, and he's mad young, like 20, like 22 or 23, something like that.
Yeah, like 21 like, maybe even.
Yeah, like definitely under 25. I know that for a fact, which is how old like Pac was. But my thing with Pop Smoke is interesting because like I'm really stubborn like with my taste, right? So like when Pop Smoke was first coming out, I was like the biggest. I was like, man, all this music sounds the same. Like, Welcome to the Party and like Dior. Like I just felt like they sounded too much similar. I was being like a total artist. So like me and Jay had arguments about this like several times.
Oh wow!
Like, all this music sounds the same, and it wasn't until the album came out and then I started hearing other songs like what's that other one? Frig. Anyways,
Shorty a little bad.
That's the one.
She my little boo.
Then he started sounding like kind of like 50 Cent, like and like he was like, I started feeling like he was the present day 50 Cent kind of thing in a legit way.
So did 50.
So did 50, right?
Yeah.
So then I was like, man, I just started becoming a fan of Pop Smoke, and like right after, then he passed away, and I was like, fuck, man, like. He definitely had more to offer for sure, and I think he would have continued to grow as an artist. Like he had everything, you know. He had the charisma, he had the confidence. The bars were there, and he had a following of New York. To this day, like the music we're listening to still sounds like what he was making, what he started.
He started a wave for sure. So, and I only had a short time of a fan of him while he was alive too, because I didn't know who he was, and then so Jibs. Shout out to Jibs again. He used to come to my Monday night comedy show, and sometimes I'd be like, "Oh, what should my walk-up song be today?" And he's like, "Put some Pop Smoke on." I'm like, "Who's that?" He's like, "Welcome to the Party." So that was like my walk-up song that day. Fucking blasted him for like 3 weeks, and then he was dead.
Fuck.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Pop Smoke.
R.I.P. Pop Smoke.
For real. My guy would have been Nipsey. Just for like the same reason. Like I feel like he was like on a. Even not just on a musical level, but just like on a level of like a revolutionary. Like he was, we don't have people like that in the game right now, like to that level where like they're just talking like and like leading generations of people to like, you know, just be the best selves they can be. You know what I mean? So more even than a rapper, he was that person. Like the same way Pac was, I feel like, which was.
Yeah,
you know,
no disrespect to Nipsey. I don't love a lot of his music. Like I don't have a bunch that I bump, but I do appreciate him as like a hustler and like getting like businesses started in the community and like inspiring people to do better. Like for sure, like he was started a good wave like that.
Yeah, for sure. And his artistry was just the marathon continues.
The marathon continues.
Yeah, he was just like his artistry was getting better and better and better and better. Because I wasn't a huge fan to begin with either. Because I didn't think he was the greatest rapper necessarily. Yeah. But then like. He just started getting better. His music started getting better, and then like people started to get to know what he's actually about, which was that hustle shit.
I definitely feel the marathon continues as a comedian because comedy is a long game. Like, but you know what's not a long game? Fixing that mold problem you got. If you go to moldsolutionscanada.com, whether it's in your house or in your business, if you've got a mold problem, they got solutions. Go to moldsolutionscanada.com. Now, back to the show. Okay, so you guys have a recent song where you said, I don't even know if it counts as a sample, but I can see clearly now the rain is gone.
Yeah, so
what song is that? What's the title of that
song? Ours?
Yeah.
Everything But the Rain.
Everything But the Rain.
Which comes out February 3rd.
Yeah.
I don't know when is this? When
this? Well, Probably within the next.
It's probably
day
out.
It probably just came out.
It's out.
Go check it out.
Check it out.
Where is it? Everywhere.
Yeah. Link in bio.
Link in bio.
Yeah. Everything but the rain. But yeah, I sang an interpolation of a song.
Yeah. And that one, like, but does that count as a sample? Like,
so it counts as an interpolation. A little bit of nerd music theory for everybody. Like, interpolation is when you don't sample the actual recording of something, but you take the inspiration. So you could play the same notes, or you could sing the same lyrics or the same melody. That all counts as an interpolation, but the actual recording is yours. It's original.
So that doesn't count as.
So it counts. They could sue if we made money.
They could sue because of the lyrics.
For the interpolation, for you using the intellectual property of the melody I wrote. So there's two parts of it. You own the idea, and you also own the recording when you make something original.
Right.
So they would be suing for us using the idea and not paying them something.
Yeah. Like, people get sued for melodies. Like, you don't even have to use the same words. It's just like, if you... Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I'm fucking it. Right. And McDonald's is like,
and if they could, if they could prove in court that, like, that's from that.
Yeah.
They'll win that lawsuit. Right?
Damn.
So it comes down to law. There's a lot of ways to get around it, obviously, and tricks that people in the industry have learned over time. But, like, I mean, it doesn't matter until we're on. So
right. Yeah. I can see clearly now the rain is gone. What does that mean to you? What is some rain that's happened in your life that you could see clearly after it was gone?
People in your life, or people around your life that maybe are, not good for you, or maybe don't have the best intentions for you, could be considered rain. And when you separate yourself from those people, you can feel like yourself again, maybe, or you can see clearly now. That's always something. Just people around you who don't have your best interests in mind, and then just like distractions and shit, like shit that's not important that you do. Maybe like partying too hard, or maybe just like playing too many video games could be raining in your life. You don't realize, but once you stop and you realize you're more productive, then that's rain that's gone, I guess. Yeah. Technically,
yeah. It's metaphorically all that.
No offense to video games.
No offense to video games. Yeah, I mean. I'm doing like these presentations at schools right now about money management.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
I know.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
We'll get into it after, but yeah.
For like kids that are in grade 5 and 6, but one of the things we do is like
that's actually dope, by the way, but yeah.
It is kind of cool. Like, I just did it because I need to make money before my regular trucking job comes back, and like these guys, I've worked with them before on another. Anyways, there's a game that we play with the kids where like we hand them these items and you say, is it a need or a want? And one of the things is like video games, like it's like an Xbox controller, and the kids are like, it's a need. I need that. If I don't play, I go crazy. And then one of his friends was like, he does. I've seen him go crazy. I'm like, yo, that sounds like a sickness. But I tell the kids, I'm like, if you want to become a professional gamer and you want to make money off it, you can make it a need. You can make it a way that makes you make money. Otherwise, it's just making you waste your time and waste. You know what I mean?
Right.
But some of them, like, they're straight up, I need it for my mental health. And I'm like, I don't know how to argue with you on that one. One of the funniest ones was a little boy I give a high heel to. And he's like, well, some guys like tall girls, and some of those guys are rich. So if she wants a rich guy, she might need to get those heels. And I'm like, bro, put it on the need. Wow. I'm like, this is like a 10-year-old kid
ahead of
thinking
their
about
time.
that.
Yeah. This is grade 5, you said?
Grade 5.
10. Jesus.
10 years old.
What was I thinking about when I was 10?
It is good that we're teaching them about money, though. Because I'm so bad with money.
I wish somebody taught me about money when I was 10, 100%. I'm still trying to figure it out.
Like budgeting?
Yeah.
We're talking to 10-year-old kids about budgeting?
Yeah.
I didn't know I don't have a budget currently.
I just, literally yesterday. I just wanted to know pattern.
I should start doing that.
Yeah.
Like, it's funny because I'm teaching these kids, but I'm also learning. I'm like needs versus wants. Yeah, why am I spending so much on wants, and then I have to pay for my needs at the end of the night or the end of the month, and I'm fucking sweating, living off a shoestring.
Do you ever think about that? Like when you were a kid, like people that gave you advice about shit, but in adulthood you realize like maybe those people didn't have shit figured out.
Well, like when you say that, so the one thing that comes to mind is my dad's birds and the bees talk. This is his birds and the bees talk. There's nice girls and there's friendly girls. You can have fun with friendly girls, but you want to marry a nice one. And then my dad left my nice mom for a friendly woman. And his life didn't turn out too good after that. No, he's all right. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, that like he gave me that advice, but then he went the other way with it.
He went and did his
Did you get a Birds and the Bees talk from like a brother or dad or anything?
I didn't. No, I never did.
Older brother didn't even tell you anything?
I mean, I think they just like, by the time they could have that conversation, like by the time we were in each other's lives at that much,
Yeah.
I was already like,
you were already fucking with the birds.
For sure.
The bees?
Yeah, for sure. And they knew. So
when it comes to birds and bees, what do you think what's the guy and what's the girl in that scenario? I don't even know.
The bees have stingers.
Bees are boys?
They have the stingers, like the birds and the bees. Like,
Yeah, I guess you call girls birds.
I never thought about it before, but like now thinking about it, that's
if it comes from a British, I know British call girls birds.
Yeah,
gonna go talk to that bird over there.
Bird.
Yeah, and they're always chirping.
Yeah,
you didn't get one, eh?
looking for bread.
If you had to teach somebody about like birds and the bees, what would you teach like a younger? Like, do you ever teach your nephews or anything?
No, it's a scary conversation. I'm realizing that as an adult. Like, that's something that's because, again, like, I think the mistake that a lot of adults make is, like, knowing when to have that conversation. Because I look at my nephews, for example, I still look at them as the babies they were, like, when they're born. So, like, it's like a snap of a fingers, and all of a sudden they're, like, 18, 19, 20, and like it's too late. Like they already, you know what I mean? Like I'm sure same as like my brothers with me. Like I feel like it just, oh shit. Like
what age did you lose your virginity?
14. Yeah.
Really? Eh?
Yeah.
And what's that? Grade 9?
Grade 8.
Grade 8?
Yeah.
The fuck? How'd that happen?
First girlfriend.
Oh, it was a girlfriend?
Yeah. So it wasn't like I was running around here like, you know.
Yeah.
I actually had a girlfriend that was down, and then we
Damn.
Yeah. But then it was a long drought after that until
that's tough.
Until because in high school we stopped talking to each other because we went from grade 8 to high school, and then
you only have sex with people you love, so you waited till your next girlfriend.
Yeah, exactly. It's the only way.
That's
right?
the Birds and the Bees.
Christian boy, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I don't think the next time was until grade 10. So then I would have been 16, 17.
You did it twice before I did it once. That's for sure. I lost my virginity in grade 12.
But I feel like that's normal.
Valentine's Day, grade 12. Took the day off school. Put some R. Kelly on.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Really? Like actually put R. Kelly? That's like, crazy.
I had a burnt CD with about 17 songs on it, but I would say at least 10 of them were R. Kelly songs. I love 90s R&B, and before I knew that he was doing horrible things to women, he was just making hits.
Yeah, no, it's the truth though.
Like I can't watch Surviving R. Kelly because I'm like it will make me.
So you haven't seen it?
I watched the first 10 minutes. I'm like I can't.
You have to see it though. You have to finish it because like.
Oh my god.
Just so you have the awareness of like the whole thing, because it shocked the hell out of me too. And like obviously you don't need to see it. You've seen enough reactions to it to know what.
Yeah, no, I get it. He's not a good person.
Yeah,
I'm not defending him at all. Like I'm just saying, I did enjoy his music.
And at the time you had no awareness. Yeah, so
like every song hits different now. I'm just gonna break out into a comedy bit if I start. So just catch me doing jokes about R. Kelly on stage sometime, and you'll get the rest of it. But I have my thoughts on him, and it's fucked. Like maybe I'll cut this next part out. But like, what do you think about Kanye right now? Like, is his like little where he's gone mentally? Like, is it making you appreciate him a little less? Or are you still able to bump his tracks?
I can still bump his tracks, but he just needs help badly.
He does need help.
Yeah, that's all it comes down to.
It's all a cry for help.
He wasn't like this. He wasn't like this for so much of his career, and it was a progression. It's not like we didn't see progression to this point. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's not like he snapped one day and then he just started being, crazy all of a sudden. Like we've seen this happen like over time and get worse.
It has got worse and worse.
And worse and worse. That's how it goes with mental illness. So like he just desperately needs to be helped.
Remember when he got on stage and he's like, Beyonce should have won that award instead of
Taylor Swift?
And she should have, because you watched that Taylor Swift video back and it wasn't that good.
Right.
And like Single Ladies was pretty hype.
Right.
Has there ever been somebody who won an award that you were like offended that one person won? I don't pay attention to awards a lot, so I think
that's my problem too. Is like I don't pay a lot of attention to it because I don't think, just because in nowadays especially, like it's just come out that a lot of award programs and shows are just like fugazi in a sense. Like it's just people scratching each other's backs and like relationships. So like so many like celebrities, Canadian music celebrities have boycotted the Grammys and like stuff like that. Like I feel like my prediction is that's a tradition that's gonna like be a thing of the past soon. You know what I mean? Like the award ceremonies. I used to care about the Oscars and like stuff like that. I used to like as a family, like we used to watch it with my mom and do like competitions and see who won and shit like that. But like, I don't think people care about that anymore. I really don't think in the next 5 years to 10 years, I don't think award shows are even.
Yeah, everything's fallen off a little bit.
Yeah.
All the main like TV shows have fell off.
Yeah.
So like they still have like an award. They still have what do they call it? The Emmys for TV shows and like
Golden Globes or whatever.
Everything's gone to streaming now. Like people don't watch cable TV anymore.
Right. Like
I don't even know what's on cable.
I don't know what shows. Yeah, you could tell me and I'd be like, oh, I guess so.
Yeah.
You know, like I didn't look at it because I didn't have time. But when I went on Netflix and there's like the Netflix. I don't know. I went on the menu and it said like the Netflix awards.
Ooh.
I think that's the future of like.
Does Netflix have an award thing?
It might. I didn't actually read it properly. I saw it and I was like, oh shit, that's dope. But I had to be somewhere, so I didn't get to go in and look at what was there.
Let's see.
But like, that's the future, people. Like that old award show shit. Nah. Like, what does everybody pay attention to? Like, let's do a top 10 of what was popular on Netflix this year, and I guarantee people will care.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, award-winning movies. Nah, okay. Netflix.
Or is it just a collection
Netflix
of
awards?
award-winning?
Netflix awards. Let's see.
And if it doesn't exist, we're taking credit right now for that.
No, it does. Okay, so for your considerations, this is Netflix Film Awards. So they got All Quiet on the Western Front. Did you watch that one?
I don't think so.
It was basically like a World War II movie, but it was from like the Germans' perspective.
Right.
Like
cool.
It wasn't like starring Hitler or anything, but it was like like the guys on the front line. You know what I mean? Pinocchio. Haven't watched that one.
I didn't get to watch that either.
Glass Onion. Heard it wasn't that good.
That was what? Who said?
Because I love the first one. I just heard the second one's not that good. You thought it was still good?
I thought it was fire.
Not as good as the first one though, was it?
I haven't seen the first one.
You never seen Knives Out?
No, I never saw that. When I saw Glass Onion, Knives Out, somebody told me that was the thing before.
So maybe if you watched it as a standalone thing, you would be like, all right, it's sick.
So I got to go back and watch Knives Out.
And you'll be like, it's better.
Right.
Blonde, about Marilyn Monroe. Have you seen this one?
I haven't seen that one either, but it's been on the list.
It is bad. It's so bad. Like, I'm like, who did they make this for?
Like, it's not a good movie. Like, it's
not a good movie.
And it's on that list.
And if I'm a Marilyn Monroe fan, I'm hating it because they're pretty much just being like, okay, like I can understand if she fucked her way to the top or whatever, but they really like hammer that home. Like they're just having flashbacks to her getting fucked by producers like all the time, and it's like not in like an empowering way. That's like she's like, oh, I want to get that role, so I'm gonna do it. Which if I thought of Marilyn Monroe in my mind, like that's kind of like she fucked JFK, she fucked Joe DiMaggio, like she had a good hit list, like same way like Lori Harvey now.
Right.
Like that, I look at Lori Harvey. I'm not looking like guys are running through her. I'm looking like she's running through guys.
Yeah, right.
And that's how I look at Marilyn Monroe. But they make it look like guys ran through her, and I'm like, I don't know. I felt like it was. If I'm a Marilyn Monroe fan, I wouldn't like. I don't know a lot about her, but I'm a bit of a, like I like her iconicness in history. And I think they just trashed her.
Was this supposed to be like based on like real like not that it matters, but was it supposed to be based on like? Was this supposed to be more historically accurate?
It's
her story,
a kaleidoscope study of Marilyn Monroe. That's how they describe it.
So they're trying to pretend it is. If it's not,
and then the girl that they got to play her like has a Spanish accent that bleeds through every once in a while. It's like she looks great. She looks like a great Marilyn, but they cut some corners on this one, and I feel like whoever told the story is like somebody that's like a little bit like fuck her.
Right.
I didn't feel like it was like coming.
It's more. It's an anti. It's not a fan. It's coming from somebody who's not a fan.
Yeah, watch it, but I don't think you'll like it.
And it's on the list.
It's on the list, and then there's one more on the list that I haven't seen. It's called Bardo, False Chronicles of a Handful of Truths. I like the sound of that.
Sounds cool. Yeah. Well, there's 5 movies or however many.
That's up for the Netflix awards. Out of those ones, I think All Quiet on the Western Front will win.
Right.
I haven't seen Pinocchio, but I get it. You know what I mean? Guy lies, his nose grows.
You know what I mean? That's pretty original. Like that's a cool story.
I think that one might be a little dark too. Maybe I will.
The story itself, when I was watching it, it looks like a darker version of the Pinocchio story. So
I got another weird question for you, just because I have this calendar called Unlikely Friendships. It's one of my favorite contents that I drop every month. I turn the page and I show people what the new unlikely friendship is. Now, this month, the unlikely friendship was a turtle with a frog riding on its back, with a snail riding on its back, and it says these guys like have no problem bringing each other across the pond. You know what I mean? Which is like having a friend that will put you on their back. Now, do you have a memory where you put the team on your back?
I still have the image of the turtle and the frog.
I'll put it up here.
Yeah. I feel like we rotate doing that all the time.
Or where a friend put you on their back. Even better.
Yeah,
like,
totally.
Do you have where a friend carried you? Like, do you have like a, not literally, but like metaphorically? Like,
yeah, totally, man. We do that all the time. Like, we go through shit, like, you know, mental health and like just being stressed out. Like, we all live regular lives on top of like our stay out late life. So everybody goes through moments where like they just don't have the energy to go at the same speed as everybody else. So somebody naturally has to pick it up. So I've done that for the squad a few times. And members of the squad have done that for me like a bunch of times. So, you know, like,
so nothing specific, just everyone taking turns.
Yeah, man, taking turns taking the lead.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. That's what a team is for.
Yeah, take a load.
You can't do it all by yourself. Yeah,
you know that one. Take a load off, man, and you put the load right on me.
I don't think
you know it. Come on,
maybe.
I wish I had the fucking instrumental, because if I played, okay, I'll actually.
Who is it? Who is it?
Oh. Fuck, I don't even know. I'm embarrassed to not know, but it's an iconic song. Like, let me see.
I'm thinking the first one that comes to mind when I think of that kind of thing is "Lean on Me." Obviously,
that's a good one. Yeah,
that's like top 5 of those kind of songs. Definitely.
It's by the band. It's called The Wait. Once I bet you'll know it right off the fucking. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, I actually don't. It's funny because I usually know obscure. Would you consider this obscure? Oh, I do know this. I do. Right.
I have to cut that out the episode, but I'll just say I do know this. You guys know it too. Is it obscure? No, but it is like a white song. Do you know white stuff pretty good?
I know more white stuff than the average black person.
Who's
sure.
Tori Spelling?
She's an actress, right?
Yeah.
I'm just guessing. She was
on a big show.
Skinny
what show
and
do you
blonde.
think she was on? Iconic show. You definitely know. Like, you might not have watched the show.
Clueless or like one of those shows.
Close. Like, it's in LA.
It's in like 90210 or one of those shows.
Yeah,
I know my white shit.
Yeah. Can you name all the characters on Friends?
Friends?
Yeah. Can you name all the friends?
Ross. Rachel, Courtney Cox.
Close.
Hold on. Give me a hint. I just need like
of Courtney Cox's name.
No, or like any. I know.
Okay, well, the two guys that live in they're best friends. Like, they're
one guy's name starts with an M, right?
No, Courtney Cox's name starts with an M.
Fuck, I don't know, man. I just never watched Friends.
Fair.
Yeah. That's
you
why
got a couple. That's
fine. and I'm gonna count Courtney Cox just because like I'm
you got her government name, but you know that's not a game that we like to play. We don't go by people's government names.
Gummies, bro.
You remember what their theme song was though?
Yeah.
It also ties into what we were just talking about.
Yeah,
and you're there for me too.
You'll be there for me too.
I know some. How does it start? Do you
know? Always be this way. Be okay.
Sometimes you feel like you're always stuck in second gear.
See, I remember
and when something, here, but I'll be there for you. Man. White people are going to hate that we fucking fucked that up, yo.
They're going to hate that you fucked that up.
No, whatever. I'm a member of the tribe, yo. What else did I have for you? Okay. One's got to go. Sex, love, or friendship?
my knee jerk response was just as soon as you said sex, it was just everything else. Mm-hmm. But love.
Yeah.
It has to stay.
Has to stay.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say has to go. And I was going to say, isn't that so sad?
No.
You're going to give up friendship?
Yeah.
That's fucked.
Because if you have love, then it's like a sneaky way of still having friendship. You know what I mean?
I don't know, man. I could never give up friendship. Get the fuck out of my house.
Because you're talking about love in like a romantic sense.
Yeah.
I just mean like in general, like. You know.
Yeah, I guess so. You don't want to lose the love from your family and stuff too. So
and friends.
And friends.
Even though they're not your friends anymore because there's no friendship. But
yeah, man. Like when I look at you, did you watch Disney movies when you were a kid?
Yeah.
What was your so this is a good test. What was your top like 2 or 3 favorite Disney movies?
Aladdin.
Yeah.
Lion King.
Okay, so yeah, that's love and that's family. Mine Jungle Book and Fox and the Hound. Friendship. I'm all about friendship.
Yo, what? That's is that a thing? Like, is that
I'm one of the only people.
Did you just come up with that way of like?
I've came up with it
figuring out what people
over years
with
of
Disney
telling
movies.
People, I've came up with it over years of telling people that one of my favorite Disney movies is Fox and the Hound, and it being no one else's, and just knowing that I'm the best friend that anyone has. I'm a very good friend to people.
Yeah,
and they're all like concerned with their love and their family, and I'm like, I'm trying to be your friend, yo.
Right. Damn,
it is. I think it is like something about core values and stuff with people. I think it does show something if your favorite Disney movie is like all a romantic one, or you know what I mean.
You're right. Do you think
a lot of people's is Aladdin though? I rate Aladdin. Aladdin probably would be in my third like top. It's in my top 3, so I'm about that too. But then again, Aladdin and the Genie, that's a friendship story too. But
that's true too.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah,
so it has a little
it's still
bit of
in
everything.
There. And even in
so I'm not a psychopath.
Like Timon and Pumbaa are like buddies, but like the main story is like being the king. Like that's a very
the main arc is
bit of a selfish story.
Everything
actually.
else. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Do you think that's nature or nurture? Like, do you think like it just depends on what Disney movie you saw at what time that made you that way, or do you think you were inherently that way, so you gravitated to that particular movie?
I think it's a bit of both, but I think as kids will watch the same movie over and over again.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, and memorize the lines. And
so, no, I was a Fox and the Hound guy. Like, I'm like,
right.
And it's weird because that movie's so old. Like, that didn't come out in the 90s.
Right. You could have picked any of the other ones to watch over and over.
Yeah. Like, I had that one in my house, but I also had Aladdin. I also, like, man, Mowgli and Baloo. Love that story. In Jungle Book.
Jungle Book. Yeah.
And the only part, like, there's a little love at the end. Like, he sees a girl at the end and he's like, oh, man, girls exist? And that's pretty much my life. I'm like just being a good friend, and then all of a sudden I'm like, whoa, girls exist? Love them too.
That's such a great bros before hoes. Like
yeah.
And bros could be female as well.
I should start calling myself the White Mowgli.
Bros before that's kind of cool.
White Mowgli.
White Mowgli. Change your Instagram handle and everything.
Yeah.
White Mowgli. Comedians are gonna be pissed.
Yeah, it's crazy that story took place in India too. Like the music makes sense and everything. Like when you hear, sometimes you hear like the little like instrumentals they got in that movie. Yo, Jungle Book has some stuff you might want to check out for some samples. Like just there's some good instrumentals in there. Right. I'm not talking about like the sing along songs. I just mean like the little like background music,
side melodies, and like yeah. That moves the plot along.
Yeah.
That shit.
It's pretty good.
All right.
Yeah.
Say less.
And one other thing I wanted to bring up today on this show, when I auditioned for the score, drafted, you helped me do the video. It was a hit. Put a clip here. And at that time, YouTube had just started popping off. We got fucking 1,500 in like 3 days. I should have just kept making YouTube videos.
Right.
Would have been famous already. But one of the other things that we thought about doing that day, let me know if this name rings a bell. Quan Rodriguez. Do you remember Quan Rodriguez?
Weightless workout.
Yeah. I still think we should make that. And anyone that's watching at home that wants to get in shape this year, weightless work. It's flexercise.
Right.
That's what we said.
Right.
It's like doing a workout just by flexing. So right now I'm curling. I'm curling right now.
And if you were in kinesiology or whatever, if you know, like you're actually doing the same thing. Like you're actually stressing the muscle.
Yeah.
You're breaking it down. You know, you're getting that lactic acid in there, it's breaking the muscle down, and it has to rebuild stronger. So you don't need the gym. You just need Quan Rodriguez weightless workout.
That was
And that's not rehearsed. That just is what it is. Like
right. Juan Rodriguez is a character, but we should make that. We should, and especially now that we live around the corner from each other. And the other thing that's crazy about our parallels in our journey is you're living in a studio now. I turned this bedroom into a podcast studio.
Yeah.
It's like
it's a perfect example of
we're giving it all we got.
Where our priorities are. Like, like this is,
like
this
I don't
is
need
the
a bedroom.
main thing.
I need a fucking talk show studio.
Right. I can be homeless. Like I can just live in the studio. Like,
yeah. Some people say like I live in the studio, but you're actually doing
I
it.
live in like my address is the studio address. I have to have a PO box so that I can't get mail.
It's crazy.
Yeah. I
there.
shower at the gym. I use the washroom at the gym. So like, and I'm happy. Like that's you know
that's crazy.
Yeah. This is like.
I'm not.
I feel great.
No. I'm all right. I'm pretty good. Do you have any upcoming projects that you want people to be on the lookout for?
Yeah.
Are you dropping Ghosts tomorrow? Or would you say you're dropping tomorrow?
A couple. So on the 3rd, Everything But the Rain.
Everything But the Rain, yeah.
Is dropping. Myself and Charlie Noir, who will be on this show as well at some point. But yeah, that drops February 3rd. I got a joint called Don't Slow Down with The Only Young Wolf, or Young Wolf as he likes to go by, featuring Twisted Zoo. It's actually their collaboration, but I got to be a vocalist on it. It's an EDM song.
Okay.
So you know, showing the range, obviously. But
how's
yeah,
the
that
drop
comes
in that
out
one?
on the 10th. How's the whip?
The drop.
Oh man, the drop is. Just wait for it. But yeah, so we got Don't Slow Down February 10th, Everything But the Rain. We stylize it as like EBTR just so we don't have to write that whole thing out. But EBTR February 3rd, Jungle February 3rd. All this is happening right now if this just got released. So like
I gotta drop it tomorrow,
get in touch with one of us like really quickly and you'll get more information. But yeah, I'm 90% recorded my first solo album. Actually 90% recorded 2 of them. So we're just. You
recorded 2 albums and you haven't dropped them?
I have like 2, ready to go.
Do you have the names for them?
And those are solos. I have Charlie and I have like
you guys have been doing the collab
project also ready to go. So there's just a lot of music that we've been taking a long time to just like make sure it's 100% perfect.
Do you know what the first of your 2 is going to be?
One of them is going to be Substance and Abuse, like part 2.
Okay.
Because I'm going to keep that going, but like no title for the second one. Just still waiting for it to just hit.
Yeah.
Or the deadline. And then I'll just be forced.
Like,
fuck,
let's
get it done.
Yeah.
And then this is gonna be a bite because Jay's gonna hate it, but sing to the choir. Myself and Charlie Noir. That's like the operative title. So like that's a big take right now because it hasn't been announced. It hasn't even been approved by management. But sing to the choir. Myself and Charlie Noir, we both grew up in the choir. In both of our music right now, there's a lot of melody.
In the choir?
Yeah, I used to sing in the choir. I used to play guitar in the church.
That's crazy.
This is all up until like 8th grade.
You ever thought about breaking on a guitar while you're rapping, or you don't have those like?
I'm just not that good anymore.
Yeah.
I'm too rusty that like if I did it, it would just be like, why did you? You should just not done that. But like one day I'll get good enough and then do that. But yeah, we just both got a lot of life parallels as far as that goes, and like leaving that life and then going into like other fringe edgier shit in life and like talking about it in music. We have similar styles music wise, different but similar as far as melody goes. So we just also like sing to the choir, and like preaching to the choir is a phrase you use when like you talking to somebody else who's like knows what the fuck you're talking about. Like you're preaching to the choir.
Oh, you love pussy? You're preaching to the choir.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's constantly the 2 of us in conversation. So
right.
It just made sense.
Preaching to the choir. Yeah.
Singing to the choir. That's coming out at some point.
Nice.
Yeah, it might be preach, it might be sing. We'll figure that out.
Yeah. Either way, I like it. I like the vibe on that one. Damn, I didn't even know you were in the choir. But okay, so you grew up Christian, but you're not Christian anymore.
I'm Muslim now.
When did you become Muslim?
2009.
And what made you want to do that?
I was just hanging around like a lot of Somalis, a lot of like 80% of my friend circle was Muslims.
Yeah.
Half of my family on my grandfather's side is Muslim.
Okay.
So like I've always been around Islam. So I started studying it just out of interest when I was in McMaster. So I learned enough about it that I was like, well, here's like a lot of religious texts and stuff like that I'm very interested in. The book is like a memorized book. It's written in rhyme You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of things that were aligned with me spiritually as far as Islam went. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, why not? And like I think that's something that people don't do a lot, is like they grow up or they're born into like a religion and they just stick to it just because that's what they learned from their parents or whatever. Right. But when you have the opportunity to learn and like live life the way you want to, like that's something you could change if you want to. Like,
was your mom offended when you converted?
Not at all.
She was okay because
she was like, that means you believe in God, like for real. Like, you know what I mean? Like, she would rather hear me say that than say like I don't believe in God anymore at all. You know, like she's like, oh yeah, well you just chose God on your own in some form. Have
you read through it like pretty good?
Maybe like 70%. I've read the entire Bible
because Jesus appears in
the Quran, right? As Isa. Yeah.
And what's he saying in there?
Similar. The stories are similar. It's just the key difference is that he's not positioned as the son of God.
Yeah.
And like died as a sacrifice for the sins of mankind. That's the key difference. Like,
does he die in it though?
That's the big difference. But he does die.
He gets crucified.
He does crucify. Yeah, the story is the same, but like the meaning behind it and everything else is a little bit different. And the Quran came after the Bible. Right, it was like 604.
Why did they say they killed Jesus? Do you know?
Or something like that.
If it wasn't for, was it still for claiming to be the son of God, or they just say it was an unrelated crime?
Unrelated, yeah. Don't quote me on it. I would have to do more research. It's been a while, but
cut that out.
Yeah, we'll see. we might not have to, but but yeah, no, it's just like, and I'm not the most religious person in general,
right?
But I have moments where I find religion or fall back on religion to push me through sometimes. So it's just always good to have something that you believe in aside from what you can see. I feel like because I feel like that shit's real. You know, whether it's meditation, whether it's like a chosen religion, like I think everybody needs something like that.
I think having God in your life is like a cheat code to me.
Yeah.
Some people are like, they'd rather just not believe in it because they can't scientifically prove it. But I think God makes life better. I'm very thankful to have God in my life. And like a lot of times people, they wait until life gets horrible before they turn to God. And that's fine too.
Right.
But I mean, I don't like trying to convince people to believe in God. All I'm saying is I love God and God's done me well.
Me too. Yeah. Like legit, I'm blessed, like super blessed. And I have like God to thank for that. Whatever you think God is, like there's something else. I don't understand people who don't believe there's anything outside of like humans and science. Like that doesn't make any sense to me at all.
Yeah.
Because what we're living in is such a fantastic thing. Like,
like when you think about the whole Big Bang Theory, like I get like I don't know, I guess that's like science's way of saying like we don't get it either, but maybe some shit exploded.
Yeah, we don't understand. That's what that says to me.
But man, what a fucking creative like outcome of the Big Bang was.
What a sick mistake. Like,
what the fuck?
Or a sick.
Yeah, there's something about like Earth that's crazy.
Yeah. At least Earth.
Just episode ends, our heads just explode. Anyways, tell people where to find you, yo.
All social media platforms at Scotty4eyes. SCOTTYEYES. Sorry, did I say number 4? SCOTTY number 4.
There's an EY?
Let's try that again.
You put EY?
Yeah. Like Scotty4eyes. SCOTTY number 4 EYES.
Oh, that's why. I'm like,
You're thinking about the IV, right?
I dyslexically heard you say SCOTTEY.
Oh shit.
But maybe you didn't say that.
I don't know.
You got it right the second time.
SCOTTY number 4 EYES on everything.
And I'm gonna put it right there anyways.
Scotty IV. Stay out late at StayOutLate at STAYOUTLATE. Yeah, man.
If you could get LASIK eye surgery for free, would you?
I'm gonna actually because I did a consultation before.
Oh shit.
And they just basically said we can't do anything for you because your prescription is too wild. Like, but this was like 12 to 15 years ago. So like, I'm sure there's been technological advances since then that like.
Can I try your glasses?
It's a way different scenario. You're gonna get a headache for sure.
Okay.
But where you're going with that question is I'll forever still, even if I got it, I would still wear glasses.
What do you think about people that wear glasses just for style? You okay with it?
Yeah, they're not posers. I don't consider them posers. Just
they're fucking culturally appropriating glasses.
Vultures, yeah. Like what the fuck? Like,
what do you think about culture vultures? Because
Listen, you're only a vulture. See, you got to be a vulture like takes meat off of like a dead carcass. Right? Yeah. So it's a pretty aggressive thing to like.
It is, yo.
Right? But I feel like to be vulturing, you got to be benefiting off of whatever you're benefiting off of with no intention of contributing. In my eyes, I feel like that's what it is. If you are like an open, honest contributor, then you're not vulturing.
Right.
You're part of the culture at that point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think I'm a part of the culture.
100%.
It's like I've heard like some people that are just meeting them be like, "Look, you're trying to be black," and I'm like, I've just preferred the company of black people for long enough that this is how I ended up.
Right. So should you not do that because like people don't like if people just felt like that was wrong? I don't think that makes any sense.
One thing I heard. Okay, so it's
that's
black.
like me with like Indian culture or like South Asian culture. Like
I've seen you do Bhangra.
Yeah, and that's because I grew up. Well, I've been to more Indian weddings than I've been to Ghanaian weddings.
Yeah.
So like I learned how to do that first. You know what I mean? Mind you, I'm a good dancer just in general, but like if somebody called me out like for being a vulture for doing that, like I would feel like fuck, man. Like I can't do it longer just because like I enjoy it and I legit just enjoy being a part of.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, I find whenever I've gone to a Indian wedding, a Ghanaian wedding, Jamaican wedding, or whatever, like or even just like a party, like a soca party or whatever. They're not like, what is this white guy doing in there? They're like, this guy's embracing our culture and he's having fun with us. Right. Especially when it's a family event. If it's just like a party for young people, like it's not like I'm getting like love, like, hey, the white guy's here. But at weddings and like family parties and stuff, they are like, let's show this white guy how we get down. Right. Let's teach him about our food, our music.
Down. Like, we have opportunity to.
And it's like, so I've just been going to parties. They've been teaching me about their food and their music, and now I appreciate it.
Right.
Yeah. Anyways, fucking. All right, find him at Scotty4eyes. You can find me at Jam_Easy. And thanks for coming to the show, yo. JamEasyDoesIt.
Thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it, man.
Peace.